created, and we'll convert this polyline into a 3D object. Slabs, terrain parameters, and terrain features. To demonstrate, we'll use this polyline I've created, and we'll convert this polyline into a 3D object. I'll select this polyline, and one of your edit tools in the toolbar is your Convert Polyline tool. When you click on this tool, you'll get the Convert Polyline dialog that gives you the option to convert it to one of several different 3D object types, like countertops, slabs, landings, etc. We'll create a polyline solid. A polyline solid is one of the most basic 3D objects in Chief Architect. I'll go ahead and click OK here. That will open my polyline solid specification dialog. Here is where you give it thickness. We'll use this polyline I've created, and we'll convert this polyline into a 3D object. I'll select this polyline, and one of your edit tools in the toolbar is your Convert Polyline tool. When you click on this tool, you'll get the Convert Polyline dialog that gives you the option to convert it to one of several different 3D connected to the one that I originally selected. That will round off the corner to an exact 6-inch dimension. If I click on that line, click on the Fillet tool, and then click on the Fillet All Corners tool, it will fillet all of the corners of that polyline. You also have your chamfer tool. If I select this polyline and then click on the chamfer tool, this tool behaves very much like the fillet tool. If I click on the Set Chamfer Distance tool, I can change the chamfer distance and then click OK, and then click on one of the connected lines. That will bevel or chamfer the corner to that exact distance. Again, I can use that chamfer tool, and I can chamfer or bevel all the corners of this object. Many of the same tools used for editing polylines will be used in Chief Architect for editing any polyline-based 3D object, such as a countertop, custom backsplashes, slabs, terrain parameters, and terrain features. To demonstrate, we'll use this polyline I've created, and we'll convert this polyline into a 3D object. I'll select this polyline, and one of your edit tools in the toolbar is your Convert Polyline tool. When you click on this tool, you'll get the Convert Polyline dialog that gives you the option to convert it to one of several different 3D object types, like countertops, slabs, landings, etc. We'll create a polyline solid. A polyline solid is one of the most basic 3D objects in Chief Architect. I'll go ahead and click OK here. That will open my polyline solid specification dialog. Here is where you give it thickness, or in the floor plan view, height. I'll change this to 36 inches. Elevation to the top and to the bottom are relative to the floor level. So I'll change the elevation to the top to be 36 inches. Now we'll take a 3D camera view of this object. You can see here that I now have a 3D shaped object. You can edit this 3D polyline solid by selecting the object and then using the edit handles the same way we do with 2D polylines. You can use the edit handles in both floor plan view and in a 3D view. The direction in which it will edit will depend on the surface that you select. If I click on the side surface, I'll get a top and bottom edit handle that will allow me to change the depth or height of this object. Now that it's a 3D object, we can still edit it in many ways that we did when it was a 2D polyline. We created this polyline solid by converting a standard polyline, but you can also create a polyline solid by using the Polyline Solid tool. I'll click and drag a small box inside of this one. I'll double-click on this new polyline solid that is completely contained within the original, and I have the option here to make this a hole in the larger polyline solid. When I click OK now and go back to my camera view, you can see that there's a rectangular hole in my polyline solid. You can also create a polyline solid in an elevation or cross-section view. I've created a cross-section elevation view here. We'll go to the Polyline Solid tool and simply click and drag a polyline solid on the wall. Then I'll select the polyline solid and use my editing tools to create a breakpoint or another corner, drag it up to fill the space, go back to my polyline solid tool, create another polyline solid on top of this one, and then shape it so that it's completely contained within the original. Then I'm going to copy this one by using my copy paste tool and reflect about, hover over the wall and click, Then I'll open up each one of these two and make a hole in the original polyline solid. Then I'll create another piece with another polyline solid. Click and drag to create the polyline solid, and then use the edit handles to shape it. And then use the edit tools in the toolbar at the bottom. Create a breakpoint, fill in the corner. Use my change line to arc tool on both of these sides to arch my web piece. Select that piece and copy paste, reflect about the wall again. Then I'll open up the original polyline solid, change the material to a wood material, then use my eyedropper tool to apply that same material to the web pieces. Here in the floor plan view, I'll select that polyline solid which is placed right up against the wall, open it up and give it a little more depth. Then we'll take a 3D camera view. So you can create and edit many custom objects in Chief Architect. CAD and polyline-based objects give you much more variety in design options.